What is good, fam? It is your girl Esther Joy coming at you, and please forgive me if you are not sure why you should forgive and are here and should give your time to this video, okay? Because today we're going to be talking all about forgiveness. We're going to be talking a little bit about the power of forgiveness and why you should forgive the unforgivable. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, I have to say. Shout out Discord fam, because we had a really cool little Bible study about forgiveness. Now, prior to this, I had already known that forgiveness was really powerful. For instance, in my own life, being a swim instructor for over 10 years now, crazy, I know. When I was teaching kids how to swim, I had a student, and I'm telling you this story because it is relevant. The student obviously was a pain, to say the least. For the last 2 years, they pretty much would, I'm not sure if they were joking or if they just were really stubborn, but they just would not swim for me. I would just ask them to swim halfway across the pool, and they would tippy-toe with their head out of the water, and eventually they would just avoid swimming in the direction I wanted them to and instead stay underwater so I couldn't get them and pick them up. Now, even though I struggled with this child, I realized that the resentment inside me started to grow from a little, oh, maybe they're just scared of the water, to, okay, this child just does not want to cooperate, and they're just effing around with me, to be quite honest, flip-flopping around. So that really brought a lot of resentment, and for those 2 years it only grew and grew with each and every day as I wondered, why, God, why is this child doing this? Why? I know he can swim, yet he refuses to do what I ask him to in order to refine his technique to a point where he can pass this level. So he was in my class for 2 years. Now, on the last day of that job working with that child, I actually remember thinking to myself, and I had been using Ho'oponopono quite often. If you're not familiar with Ho'oponopono, an ancient Hawaiian healing technique modality using 4 sentences, I am sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. So these 4 sentences are really the epitome of forgiveness, if you're going to be honest, okay? And asking for forgiveness, but also within yourself forgiving. All right, so after that day, after I said that to that child, I'm sorry that I have been really fed up with you. Please forgive me for not believing that you can pass because of your cantankerousness. I love you and I want to see you pass, and thank you for understanding and cooperating. Okay, I said those things, and guess what? This child passed, okay? And I have to say that I want to say most of it was because of that healing modality and the forgiveness that I had within my own heart. And at that time, once I was able to share that with others and really see it for myself, how effective of a technique it was to clear energy and really utilize that energy in a way and clear blockages that could be rather serious, I knew that it was something that needs to be practiced more. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about effective forgiveness and ineffective forgiveness, but first let's just talk about what forgiveness is. Now, while we had our conversation with some of the Good Vibe fam, they brought up a really good point of seeing forgiveness as clearing karmic debt. Shout out Michael. So I found that to be really fascinating and a really good way to look at forgiveness. A lot of the times when we have resentment, you can replace that with resistance, stagnancy. You are literally pushing this energy into place where it is no longer going to be moving the way that it really should. So that is the power of forgiveness, is literally clearing out these karmic debts that we build up over time. Now that we talked a little bit about what forgiveness is in terms of energy, you know, you're clearing a cycle by allowing yourself to accept that cycle and process the emotions that happen to move on. I think a lot of people don't want to forgive because they feel like they don't want that situation to happen again, which is totally understandable. Some things are quite horrific, and why would we forgive? But when we don't forgive, that means that generally speaking, we have resistance in our heart. And when we have resistance in our heart, we do not allow that energy to flow. Therefore, we get stuck in another karmic cycle of we are avoiding this and we don't want it to happen, but we're playing into the fear. Therefore, we are right in that trap of looping that energy. Okay, so why is forgiveness so important? And that is why, if you are wanting this unforgivable act to be released so it is no longer in your energetic field and aura, then you need to forgive. Okay, so let's take 2 examples of a ineffective forgiveness first, which generally speaking can be either someone does not forgive, or they refuse to forgive until the other person sees what they did. Okay, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Most of the times, these people that are going to be forgiven by you don't know what they did. Okay, could be something as simple, and I want you to take it into their shoes. If you've ever, let's say, maybe you did something really simple, like take your cousin's ice cream cone because you were kind of just joking around and you just decided like, hey, I'm gonna just take their ice cream cone because I don't feel like they really need it that much. And now your cousin has a giant resentment against you because you took their ice cream cone that one time, and it just keeps on building up and up. Okay, now to you, you might not have seen that as anything wrong. You're just like, I just took an ice cream cone. To them, you may have destroyed their whole livelihood of now they can't eat ice cream in public because they're scared that other people are going to take their ice cream. Okay, so that is, you know, the person that did the thing that you're forgiving for usually is not affected in the same way of the person that needs to forgive. Okay, so that's why you need to forgive and let live. Okay, that does not mean that you have to forget this instance, but train yourself into understanding how to properly navigate when other situations like that arise. Now, we can also see ineffective forgiveness as someone who just forgives very quickly without setting up boundaries properly for themselves, or effectively being able to position themselves in a way where that forgiveness is really being processed. Sometimes people will forgive in order to forget. And again, doesn't really work that way unless you learn the lesson of why this person happened, why it happened to you, because again, fam, you agreed to all of this before you came. Okay, and okay, so with that being said, Jedi, I'm gonna let you out in a second, bro, but you know you can't go downstairs right now. With that being said, you cannot override what the energies are that you need to process in order to clear this karmic cycle without going through those emotions first and acknowledging what you can do in order to allow this energy to be processed in a way that can help you, where you can learn something that will assist you in your next cycle of karma. So with that being said, both of those are examples of maybe what ineffective forgiveness may look like. Again, a really big example of ineffective forgiveness would be cancel culture. Many people in cancel culture feel like what other people may do is unforgivable, therefore they cancel them instead of seeing where that other person is coming. A lot of the times, again, forgive them because they know not what they do, unless you're going to educate them on, hey, this is why this is not the best way to go about things. Generally speaking, it's ineffective and can just lead to more complications and fear around this kind of thing, which allows you to just not function as well as you should. So with that being said, forgiveness, it is important. Let's take a big breath together right now and just set the intention to forgive whatever energies are popping up for you at this moment. Just take a nice big inhale. Allow yourself to feel it, even if you feel that resistance, and as you exhale, just allow that forgiveness to be felt, right? I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Allow yourself to even forgive yourself if you feel like you cannot forgive that other person, because ultimately you were doing this for your own energy, not really theirs. So allowing yourself to forgive, though, is going to improve not only their energy, you might even clear that whole situation that caused you to feel like it was unforgivable, and rise up above it. More importantly, though, this will definitely help you and your energy, so you will be in a better state of mind, have more energy to focus on those things that are a lot more important, I'm sure. And without further ado, fam, if you like this video, you can press a thumbs up so I know. So let me know what you are battling within yourself to forgive, okay? And we will collectively, the whole Good Vibe family, we will come through and we will just assert and pray with you, understanding and knowing that that will be forgiven, and so it is. So anyways, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and namaste, fam. God bless. It's not working. I forgive myself for this awkward outro.